That makes it so easy for me now.
It slipped.
Hey guys, I'm Dan.
I'm Bob.
I'm Mike.
And today we have a top 5 for you. That's a little different, but it's because Mike wanted to do one and Bob and I argued. So instead, today I'm going to throw you under the bus.
Thanks.
So what is this top 5 that you might ask? Well, there's a problem going on in the industry.
There is.
And we all thought that we should tackle it.
Yes.
Mike, please explain.
Well, Tim.
He's wrong.
Tim is wrong about some stuff. Some more than others. Some minor complaints. But then there's other things that he is way wrong about.
Yes.
And it's
Glaring
worth mentioning that it was Patrick's idea.
It was Patrick's idea.
To tackle this topic. He couldn't make it this weekend. So what better opportunity is there to throw Tim under the bus than when he can't defend himself?
Exactly. A couple caveats here. This list is things Tim is wrong about.
Yep.
Is wrong. So if someone says something and we don't exactly agree with it, today we do. Tim is wrong.
Wrong.
Okay? So I'm just saying.
I don't know if you guys have noticed the big crap-eating grin I've had on my face since you hit the record button over there.
Yeah.
But here I am with that grin.
So the things Mike's wrong about is I don't agree with that statement. If I'm eating crap, I'm not grinning.
Oh, God.
All right.
That's
Anyways,
fair.
That's a great expression. So
Other than that.
Without further ado, this is going to be a mixed mash of just nonsense. So thanks for joining. We hope you enjoyed. Don't
We're
forget
gonna
to
have
like
fun.
and subscribe.
We're gonna enjoy it
if you have fun. And we're going to jump in to number 5.
Number 5. Tim will enjoy this too. You know he's going to love this.
So the number 5 things. So if you get on Tim's BGG,
Which we did.
which we did, he has rated 328 games. Of those, 271 of them are ranked 8 or higher. That's a 75%. 75% of the games Tim has played are not 8s, 9s, and 10s. I'm just saying that. Tim, you're wrong. There's not that many good games out there.
And that's it.
That's it. Thanks for watching.
That's number 10. I'm actually glad that you started with something that's a meme like that because it's going to help explain the rest of our list.
This is going downhill quick.
As we go through that. So, well, I'm going to jump on that really quick before I even go into my number 10.
Okay.
Yes, Tim has a problem.
Yeah.
Right. And Mike, this might even lead into your thing, so I don't know if I should say it now or right after you, but Tim... So, his excuse is going to be that he just doesn't update it, and he's updated, those things are wrong. But, so he has 7 out of 10. There's only 30% of games better than Sorcerer City, Terraforming Mars, and Welcome 2. All games that he talks about not liking. So... where is your line? I don't understand where the line is. If you just say, oh, I don't like this game, that's like a 7 out of 10. Where does it go from there, man?
Up.
So
for like 2 games.
that isn't my number 5. That's just
Okay.
something I noticed, which makes just all of this, like, how do we even talk about a lot of this? But the first one I'm going to mention is a serious one to me personally. A lot of people like this game. I would bet the people at this table might probably both like this game. I think it's fine. I do own it. But it's not a 10 out of 10 perfect game, and that's Codenames.
Yeah.
Codenames is fine.
I love it.
It does what it does well. I don't always love what it does, though.
Sure.
But if you want that, and so, for some groups it's tailor-made, it seems. But I mean, a perfect 10 out of 10 game?
No.
Come on,
I
man.
really love thinking up those clues.
Yeah.
Still not a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's not.
And there's so many word games that have replaced it or at least do it way better.
Sure, and that's not a fault to the game. It's
Right.
a fault to the rating. It should, as other games come out and as it gets slowly replaced, that rating should slowly drop down.
Like that microphone.
To where it belongs now, which I don't know. What you guys probably give it like a 7 out of 10?
7.5, maybe an 8 because I enjoy
Really?
those clue
Okay.
givey types
Give
of
it
games.
an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
It's
still
probably
enjoy
closer
it.
to like a 6 for me. I understand. I'm the
Sure.
low. I'm the low one on the totem pole.
But a 10?
maybe I'm
really?
high.
And actually,
A
I was
10?
told that expression's wrong. Low on the totem pole is good.
Is it?
That's what I was told. But anyway, who cares? It's
yeah.
an expression.
It is.
So anyway, my number 5, a more serious pick from that. Maybe I'll jump on your bandwagon later, and I'll just say, Tim, update Codenames. There's no way it's still a 10 out of 10 for you, bro.
No, it was the first game I ever played. Like, this is blowing my mind. Then you play another game. This one's blowing my mind too. This is a 10.
Yeah.
Well, in that rate, then, my number 5 is a blanket statement that covers what Dan has already said. Tim, you're a YouTuber. Update your ratings. That's my number 5. Just update them. Oh, my ratings are out of date. You guys will find all kinds of old information. We wouldn't if you updated them.
Yeah.
Like, it's that simple. Update your ratings. I used to rate games, and then I started filming here, and then I got a lot more dedicated to rating the games. So if somebody wants to see what I think of a game, you can ask me, or you can just go to my BGG. My ratings are up to date.
Yeah.
I would, but that's just maybe me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Codenames is a 10. Like, just one's better. Decrypto's
Don't worry,
better.
those are 10s too.
Don't worry.
Tim, this could have been prevented.
What sucks is Dan already threw out a bad 10 on this list, and I have another bad 10 higher on this
That's
list.
funny.
But hey, we're here to have fun today.
Yep.
Yep. All right. So we're right?
Yeah, sure. Let's go to number 4.
Number 4. So actually, Tim might get a little bit of support on this one, but Cat in the Box. He hates that game. It's a great game. It is a very unique trick-taking game. It is not a standard like, oh, I have Trump, or I'm going to deal these out like, the diamonds. It's very unique. The way that you don't know what suit you have until you play it. You declare what number it is. You can try to block people out from out. There's just so much more to it, and he's just wrong about Cat in the Box.
I think part of the challenge with that is that the first time you play Cat in the Box, if you just play it one time and you play it like, okay, I need to take tricks. No, that's
not always the point.
not how you win Cat in the Box.
Right.
That whole parallel token placement thing is a major part of the game, and forcing people to paradox is the other major part of the game.
Yes.
And the first time you play that, that's not obvious. And I think you go, well, it's a trick-taking game, and it's a small box, and it plays quick, so I only need to rate it after one play. No. Cat in the Box has more depth than you would expect.
Yep.
And you're absolutely right.
Yeah, because you can just like, I'll only take these 2 tricks as long as I can make everybody else take negative points, right?
Yeah. Right.
I actually didn't like this game until about a minute ago, and Tim's wrong.
See, it's that obvious.
Yeah, no, Tim's wrong. You're right. I need to play this more.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Okay. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay. Well, you just talked about something that you're passionate about that you got
Yeah.
some pushback on. I'll talk about something I'm passionate about that I'll get some pushback on.
Okay.
My number 4, mobile markets is better than smartphone.
What? I mean, he's right. Dang it.
No, at the very least, though, it's an enjoyable, well-made game.
I
And
hold my tongue.
And I know that Bob will agree with me with that. I thoroughly... No, I'm just saying.
I do like the game, but it's not better than smartphone.
Right. Well, hold on.
Okay.
It is now.
Okay, it is now.
For approximately the next 40 minutes.
For 40 minutes, I can.
It's better.
It's as good as smartphone.
No, but mobile markets was a spin-off of smartphone. It's more of a pure engine builder kind of thing.
It's good, though.
Hey.
Where'd that come from?
I forgot what video you were in,
Ghost
sir.
of Tim.
No, and in all fairness, I totally get it. People love smartphone, and in all fairness, I also think smartphone is a fantastic game that I'm so bad at I don't like playing. And mobile markets, I'm pretty good at. So that little bump. But Tim was just he hated it.
Very anti.
Like I that's one of our few reviews where I feel like he wanted to rate it lower than he did, and he kind of like sugarcoated it a bit.
Yeah.
He just didn't like it for some reason. Yeah, maybe
Still pretty low.
But I don't know. I just he really disliked the game, and the whole time I was sitting there, I didn't understand. The other person, Andrew, was the other one we did the review with. He didn't like it either. He has not played smartphone though, so he didn't have that prerequisite. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I thought Mobile Markets was a great engine building game. I really want to play it again. And I just, something about it didn't click with Tim. And I don't actually have what he rated it on here. I actually don't think it was rated on BGG, but you just said you think you gave it a 6. It is way better than a 6. Again, it's not a 10 out of 10, Tim. Slow down. You don't have to go from 6 to 10. There are numbers in between.
It's
there.
a 1.
Yeah.
That is not between 6 and 10.
I just think, Tim, maybe check it out again when you're in a better mood.
Yes,
I don't know.
Maybe don't let me teach you.
I'm struggling with that one because Smartphone's like top 10 for me.
It's great.
I love
it's
that
one
game.
of the few games. I think it's the only game I rated a 10 on the show.
Man. My number 4 has to do with art. And Tim is very adamant about how much he hates the art for Dice Throne.
Yep.
Even Marvel Dice Throne.
Yes.
And I think it's perfectly fine. Like,
It's
I
fine.
don't have any issues with the Dice Throne art. And here's the thing I think that puts this on my list is that this art is by Manny Tremblay, which, by the way, Tim, you owe him an apology because if you recall, I know Bob would have put it on his list. Wonderland's war art is fantastic.
Yes.
That's the same artist. That's the same artist. Radlands,
Slightly different style.
Radlands is
same
nice.
artist. Okay. So I don't see how you can go, well, I don't like the Dice Throne
You don't like the
art,
pointy
but
chins.
pointy chins.
I don't like the
Come
pointy chins
on.
either, in all fairness. That's the only thing I don't like.
Right.
Or the pointy noses. I mean, the Wonderland's War art is awesome. I just absolutely love the theme and the coloring and the art for that game so much that I will defend Manny Tremblay, and Tim is 100% wrong on bashing the Dice Throne art because it's the same guy that did those great games. So that's my number 4.
All right. Number 3. Tim loves Lords of Waterdeep.
He does.
But there is a game similar to Lords of Waterdeep that is much better.
I
that
agree.
He hates on.
Yeah. What could that possibly be?
Champions of Midgard. It's fantastic. It's a great game. There's dice rolling. He loves rolling dice. You know.
Mike, just agree and move on.
Disagree, move on, Mike. And it is a much better, like more satisfying game. Like, yes, it does need the expansion to make it a full game, but it's such a much more satisfying. And I just feel like Lords of Waterdeep, oh, these are clerics. No, they're not. They're orange cubes. It's not a cleric. It's an orange cube. And like, sure, I've got imagination, but like, it feels like a lot of the same game over and over with the Lords of Waterdeep.
Sure. That's not even my complaint. I've gone on record many times to say I love that the pieces are cubes in Lords of Waterdeep because the whole point is you're a lord and these people mean
Matter
nothing.
not to you.
Yeah, they are
Sure.
just cubes you're pushing around. I
Yeah,
find
yeah.
it really thematic. But I do agree that for a long time, and for a very long time, I didn't have the expansion, and I thought base game Champions of Midgard was totally fine. I do not get the hate for it. And then
Me either.
You're sweating, Mike.
and that's how I met Tyler Durden. But I don't understand the hate for Champions. I
don't.
truly
Especially
don't.
with, I think the Valhalla expansion is such a great game because okay,
Yeah.
it did kind of be unfortunate. Like, I build up to get all these dice, and now I just roll them, and they're dead, they're gone, and it's nothing. But with the Valhalla expansion, you get those chits, and those chits can buy you more
Yep.
stuff, and it's like,
I literally am going to go on record right now and say anyone who has played, and by anyone I mean Tim and Mike, anyone, Tim and Mike, who has played Champion of Midgard with the Valhalla expansion and did not love it, you played it wrong. I'm saying objectively, you played it wrong. The whole point of that expansion is it makes every choice viable for you at all times. Oh, you lost all your guys? You can instantly buy a super powerful card with all these souls that you got from this. In the Valhalla expansion, most of the time you're just sending people out to die.
Yeah,
you don't
on
even want to
purpose.
fin the fights anymore.
Oh, no, did I
you just want their
lose?
souls,
Yeah.
and you instantly buy things. I genuinely, it blows my mind when people don't enjoy that, especially when they enjoy Lords of Waterdeep, which is the same game but dry.
yeah.
I don't get it. I own both. I like both. And my mind can't wrap itself around saying not only like and better, but one is great and one is terrible.
Yes.
What?
What? It doesn't make any sense.
What?
Yeah.
I literally don't like, oh, I love vanilla ice cream, but I hate vanilla bean ice cream. Yeah. What does that mean? One is just slightly sweeter than the other one. What does that mean? Anyway, yeah, that's me talking for your number. Number, I don't remember what we're on
fine.
now. 3?
3?
I put it on my overrated list because it didn't leave a sweet taste in my mouth. Go on.
That's fine. Eat better fucking ice cream. I don't know what that means. So there's some really obvious ones here that I think I'm just gonna skip for now because I talk about them every week on the show.
Okay.
So here, man, I could have done a top 15, guys. So I'll just jump to this one. My number 3. Tim likes Spectre Ops.
Yeah.
Tim likes Letters from Whitechapel. Gave it a 10. Yeah. By the way,
He did. He did.
he loves Mind Management.
He does.
Gives it a 10.
Yeah.
By the way, hates Sniper Elite.
Yeah.
Why?
No sense.
Is there logic
sense.
in his rating?
Yeah.
I don't. Why?
It didn't make any sense.
Can you tell me what is different?
And that first game he played where he got to kill me, he had so much fun. I want to get you. I'm gonna get you. You're having fun.
I just don't understand the logic sometimes when he says numbers because it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Mind Management has like totally different mechanics there's going on there. So to say, oh, it's because I like those mechanics, sure, I guess. Yeah, the whole, I don't know, it does work different. The fact that you're playing Snake is different, sure. But like compared to Sniper Elite, Letters from Whitechapel is a super dry, simple game. There's barely anything going on there.
There's only a couple of actions you can
It's
do.
mainly theme. You know, it's just that they nail it.
Yeah.
But then Sniper Elite has line of sight. You're taking the shoot actions on your turn. You have 3 different search actions you're doing. You have to work together as a team.
And leader people.
Yeah, the sniper has an interesting bag building mechanic he's doing, and there's asymmetric snipers where they're building their bag differently. One of the snipers just runs around with a pistol. He doesn't even use a sniper. There are so many interesting things going on in that game. And also really pretty artwork, I think. I mean, straight from the video game, so you have to be into that. I love the video games. But a nice looking artwork. The board looks really clean and nice. I like the layout of it. It's bad. Can you please be more specific?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Anyway, Sniper Elite, the board game, doesn't hold a torch to any other game it's exactly like. So that's my number 3.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Maybe he just doesn't like killing Nazis.
Oh, yeah. He loves Last Friday, too.
Oh, yeah. That's all hidden.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Wow. Sounds like we have some inconsistencies. Is
Well,
what we're
it's just
dealing
you
with.
so
Say the
far.
least.
Oh.
Wait, you didn't like Sniper Elite? You haven't played it yet?
No,
He
I
hasn't-
thought
he
it was
hasn't played
fine.
it. I was
okay.
kidding.
No, I played
thought
it.
You hadn't played it. I haven't
No,
played it
I
with
played
you.
it. I played it with you.
Okay.
It wasn't one of my favorite hidden movement games, but I didn't dislike it.
Sure.
So, speaking of games that Tim gives 10s to,
So,
Yeah,
about
you've
60%
nailed it down. You've nailed it down to about 300 games.
actually, that's my number 2. But my number 3 is the worst number, officially the worst number 10 on his list, and that is Ticket to Ride Europe.
oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Are you kidding me with that? Are you kidding me with that? Is that a joke?
Yes.
That's it.
That's it.
I don't have to say anything else. That was my number 2 most overrated game of all time. I've never enjoyed Ticket to Ride. Now, granted, I played it for the first time only 3 years ago. If you introduced me to Ticket to Ride 10 years ago, I'd be like,
Sure.
Or like 8 years ago when he rated it.
But a 10? That's my number 3.
Sure.
Wow.
That's not on my list, but I did see while I was scrolling through his BGG that he has base game, normal, no expansion Ticket to Ride at like an 8 or a 9. And like, that's crazy.
But having any version of Ticket to Ride as a 10 is far more egregious, in my opinion, than the 8 he gave base.
sure.
That's funny. All right. So, number 2.
Number 2, Bob.
I talk about this one quite a bit.
It's getting serious.
I am.
He's getting very serious.
Tim loves DC Deck Builder.
He does.
This game has so many problems. Okay, I'm a huge fan of. Okay, I love DC. I love how you get asymmetrical dudes. That's cool. But like the runaway leader is such an issue in this one because if one person starts with 5 punches in their hand to start with, and they get the one punch card that's going to give, or the one like card in the lineup that's going to give them 3 power, and they have 3 power coming on their not the next turn, obviously, but the following turn.
6 power.
Huge. You're gonna take a villain first, like almost right away, and then after that, you're just snowballing. You're running away. Everybody else is still trying to build up and buy kicks or maybe something else. But as soon as one person gets a card that's worth 3 power, boom, runaway leader, and it happens. And once they start doing that, there's just no catching up. But once they take 3 or 4 of the masterminds or whatever the villains, it's done. There's no way one person is going to be able to catch up to that person, and I don't like it. Or like, oh, I'm Batman. Oh, but you're going for your Cyborg. So now we're both fighting for the equipment cards, and Superman's over here just buying up all the superpowers, and it's just like, I don't like how you're just constantly competing for the same cards all the time. There's almost no way to wipe out the lineup to buy new cards. Like there's just so many problems with this game. Like, and there's so many games that do it better. Like I get it if you're a DC fan, okay, but there are other DC games, aren't there, that play better, or superhero games that play better? There's got to be. It's just so many problems with the DC deck builder that Insane Clown Posses is better.
Well, yes, I do agree there. The ICP deck builder is fantastic. Yeah, all you that just heard that for the first time, yes, it exists, and yes, it's great.
Yeah.
We have a review.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I've only played DC Deck Builder once or twice.
Oh,
and
you're lucky.
It was fine. Mm-hmm. Part of me has always thought that this goes into something that I think is totally fair.
Okay.
I joke about it with Court of the Dead all the time. Tim is very good at DC Deck Builder. And especially if it has a runaway leader problem, it means that he gets good early because he's better than the people he's playing with. He's played a lot, and he gets a runaway, and he wins a lot. And I do think it's fair to like a game more because you're good at it, because you win a lot. That feels good. Now, if you win too much and too hard on other people, they're not going to want to play with you.
Bad teacher.
And so you're ruining the game experience for everyone else, and then you're not going to be able to play your favorite game. But, part of me is just that, well, he's so good at it, he just loves it. He loves the experience. And to that, I say, I hope it's a solo game.
Solo variant for that, right?
Yeah.
I guess on the upside, it's an introductory game, so you just keep introducing it to new people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, yeah. That's my number 2.
Oh man, there's so many guys.
I gotta narrow this down.
I don't know. I think I'm just gonna say the next big one because again, I could mention Champions of Midgard. It's a huge one for me. But if Bob hadn't mentioned it, it just would have been honorable mention because I talk about it monthly on our show about how he's just wrong about that one. So I guess I'll take the next big one, which I know Bob is gonna have a little bit of pushback probably, but I just don't understand. I've played this game at least 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
I think it's 4 times. And every time is just, the first time I had a really good time, but it's because I wasn't expecting to do good in it at all. I was just playing it. I was like, oh, that was really cool. And then ever since then, I just get smashed by everyone else that's playing. It's so hard to get new people into this game. And Tim loves it. And that's Cthulhu Wars. And don't get me wrong, it's not a bad game. But he does give it a 10 out of 10, or at least he used to. And it is one of his favorite games of all time. Sure. And I just don't understand that because so many of the mechanics are done in other games. And also, like I said, my biggest problem with Cthulhu Wars is it's so hard. If you're new to that game, you don't stand a chance. Unless people really do a great job teaching you. Right. Like, they have to be hovering over you and being like, that's a good move to do here. That's a good strategy for this person to take. You should probably get your spell books in this type of order. Like, there's so much going into that game that a new player is just going to get stomped by everyone around them, especially because in my experience, again, my 3 or 4 times playing it, I'm obviously playing with my game group, which have played the game a billion times. I mean, Bob, Tim, Patrick, you guys can all teach this game with your eyes closed. And so every time I come in, I'm just like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll try again. And then it's just 2.5 hours of me sitting there while everyone else
waiting for somebody else to win.
Yeah, doing a great job. And I'm like, oh, I'll just come in last again and not stand a chance.
Sure.
And while I blame the game partially for that because I don't think it's user-friendly and everything, also, though, I just think that it's a game that has hardcore fans, and it's a teaching issue. I had the same problem with Blood Rage. When I was taught Blood Rage, the people that were teaching me Blood Rage didn't want to teach Blood Rage. They wanted to win. And that was very apparent, and it ruined my experience of Blood Rage. I dislike the game. I would play again, but it ruined it. And I have a very similar thing with Cthulhu Wars. 3 or 4 plays now, and every single time, it's just 6 people that want to win humoring me. And that's not fun, so I've just always had an issue with that.
I think one of the things, I'm not going to say a slight defense, but it's a slight defense of Tim, is when you go all in on something like that, you wanna like it more.
100%.
And I get that. I mean, I've got plenty of games that's like, is that my favorite game? No, but man, I really want to play it again because I put a lot of money into it.
No, 100%. I've spent I don't know, $400 or $500 on Nemesis total, probably. I get it, and I like it a lot. And I know you and Tim's have problems, and you can say, "Well, Dan only defends it because he put so much money into it." I try to not to do that, but there's always going to be a slight human bias. That goes into that.
You have valid points because there are oftentimes like I love area control types games. That's area control / majority because you can eliminate some pieces, but you can also coexist. He's got great components for it. He did get the updated stuff, and our friend Pete has painted most of it, so it looks amazing on the board. Great table presence. I get that. But yeah, what you say is true, where it's like oftentimes, like, I never played these guys, so I'm going to try and figure them out. And while you're trying to figure out what you should be doing, you've got sharks around the table who are just like, alpha gaming and just kicking the crap out of everybody and like moving in, taking over, doing everything the way they're supposed to be doing. You're just like, oh, okay, well, I really had no chance from the get-go on that one.
Right. And my problem with Cthulhu Wars more so, which I know it sounds like I'm just bashing Cthulhu Wars. Remember, I'm bashing Tim. Right now.
This is
Cthulhu Wars is just a casualty of war. But I think that the problem that Cthulhu Wars has, because there are other games that do that too, but Cthulhu Wars is also a pretty long game. Now, yes, Tim has said, oh, you could play that in less than an hour. Yeah, I'm not playing with you sharks that play that game in less than an hour. All you're doing is proving that you will ruin the game for me by saying that. And then the other thing is, so it plays kind of long, and also it's insanely expensive. And so when you take those two things, and then I get this experience out of it, I'm just like, 10 out of 10 game, favorite game of all time, second favorite game. Like
it's top 5.
It was like his 1 or 2 for a long time. I'm pretty sure.
Like 2 or 3 now.
Cthulhu Wars and DC Deck Builder, I know, are like going back and
forth.
Well,
Concordia's 1.
Concordia, yeah, you're right. That's up there too. But yeah, I don't understand. It's fine. Yeah. I don't know. Yep. Always been passionate about my Cthulhu Wars thoughts.
Yeah.
My number 2. So Tim is the Oprah of giving out 10s. You get a 10, you get a 10, you get a 10, and you get a 10. How many 10s are on his BGG ratings?
I'm sure you counted.
Yes, because it's my number 2, 43 of them.
That's a lot of 10s.
I think I have 5.
I always said that I would try to keep my number of 10s to my top 10. So I'm at like 12 or 13. So I'm close. I actually said 10-ish.
Right.
It's even in my BGG profile. You can check me on that. Just like we are checking Tim on 43 10s. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
43 perfect games. But obviously if Ticket to Ride and Codenames are on there, then I guess.
Low bars.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I hate to see his Google reviews. I mean, the service was terrible. The drinks were weak. I got stale bread on my sandwich. 5 stars. That's it. I mean, 43 10s.
If you have a restaurant, let him review it.
He would be the best Yelp reviewer ever.
Right.
He'd be getting free meals everywhere he goes. This place is great. The cockroach was amazing. But wow, that's just a lot of 10s. I mean, apparently over Halloween, you don't even have to get dressed up. You can be 50 years old wearing flip-flops and sweats. Just roll up to 10's house. Hey, you got any candy? He's like, oh, yeah, great costume. Great costume. Yeah. So, 43 10s. That's an issue.
Yep.
All right.
Which leads us to number 1.
All right. So, along with Mike's 43 10s, right? And as I said earlier, the 271 rated 8 or higher. There are only 2 games that Tim has rated a 5 or lower. 2.
Oh, yes. I looked at that too.
One of them, Foundations of Rome. Really? Really? I mean, I know I kicked your butt in the game really bad the first time, but you did really well the second time. It is not a number. It is not a 5. It's not a 5. It's not. It's not a 5. It's way more than that. The beautiful components. Even if you think the gameplay is lackluster, there are so many other lackluster 10s you've got on the list that it is not a 5.
No, well, in all fairness, Tim just doesn't like games like that. He doesn't like those where you're claiming territories.
True.
He doesn't like that kind of stuff with the grid type of stuff.
Doesn't like grids. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He doesn't like
mention
cool components.
its similarity to Lords of Vegas.
Oh wait, that's right.
Oh yeah.
Wait, no, it is very similar to Lords of
yeah.
Vegas.
It's got a bit of similarity, and plus
Yeah.
it's got that whole I can
but what did
steal.
you rate?
But does he
Lords of-
like Lords of Vegas?
Yes.
Interesting.
And Foundations of Rome has a very similar. Let me build adjacent to you mechanic. It's almost like that rating doesn't mean anything.
Did we say, by the way,
I mean,
this is
not that it's my one or anything, but it's my one.
Yeah.
You're wrong about Foundations of Rome.
You are.
it's my one.
Objectively.
Yeah, it's all our ones. There it is. Crossover.
There it is.
That's what I was dancing around.
Yeah.
Listen, it's not the same game, but it has so much in common with Lords of
Similar.
Vegas and which he loves. He doesn't just like, he loves. And
do
then his
too.
biggest complaint for
Lords of Vegas.
was for Foundations of Rome was it's too expensive. But you can buy a cheaper version.
Yeah.
And Lords of Vegas has an insanely expensive version.
Yep.
And then if your complaint is, well, with Foundations of Rome, if I get the cheaper version, I'm not getting all the nice components. Lords of Vegas has
Same thing.
terrible components.
Same thing.
It's
Yeah.
So where's the comparison coming from? Oh, I know. It's because Lords of Vegas was played first.
It was rated in 2014 out of 10.
Hasn't he also said that he didn't think it had enough rules, like it was too simple to be
Yeah.
a $300 game? Okay, well, Concordia is one of my 10s, and it's one of Tim's as well. If they made a $300 version of Concordia, I'd buy 5 of them because that game's amazing.
Right. The game is saying that the game is $300 is extremely misleading. You can
You can get it
Correct.
for much cheaper.
buy
than
it for $300. It's
Right.
not a $300 game. It has a $300 edition.
Option.
There you
Right?
go.
Bob, how much is your Lords of Vegas that has a suitcase and chips?
It's like
and
$200.
Yeah. Oh, $200 for Lords of Vegas. Guess what, Tim? That game's not even close to worth $200 unless you like the game enough to want a collector's edition of it. That's what collector's editions are for. They're not because the game is actually worth that much. It's because you love the game and you want to show it off and you want a nice collector's piece. That's the entire point. You can get Foundations in Rome for way cheaper. I want to say the price,
can.
but I can't remember the exact price.
it's
I
like
don't
100
wanna-
something. I'm gonna
I
look
don't
up
wanna
real quick,
lie.
but go ahead.
Yeah, I thought it was like 115 or something. I don't understand the comparisons here. I don't understand taking something that has so much in common with the other thing to the ideas behind it, not just the gameplay mechanics, but like just the entire idea, the conception of the game, of what you're doing, and then also the price discrepancies between upgraded and not upgraded. I don't know. You can see we all don't understand the thought process that went into this. Like, it's almost like, well, I didn't really like the game. Oh, everyone else loved the game? Now I really don't like the game. Like, I don't understand.
Additional copy of the core. So the core game is $100.
100 even. I think the game's well worth $100.
Easily.
I've spent $100 on games. Is it simple? I guess, but that doesn't stop the gameplay mechanics. It doesn't stop from being good.
Right.
Like, I don't understand that.
It's elegant, which
Yeah.
to me is a very enticing thing about a game. Like, I don't have a lot of rules, and yet I can dive right in and have this satisfying, deep experience with a small rule set. Like, just
Yeah.
sign me up for that.
That has a lot of good mechanics, and you don't really see the whole give your coin to the other person to
Yeah.
just take the territory.
stealing and
What a
trading.
fantastic mechanic into a game like that you don't see. You know, there's a lot in that game that's just fantastically
Yeah.
produced.
Asymmetrical player powers included in that. The individual objectives that you can try and do, and you can do them public or private.
Yep.
Yeah, there's all types of different. Like, he said not enough rules and rule sets. Just add some of the modules in, like Taverns of Tiefenthal. The base game, that's pretty basic. If you just play just that, you'd be like, there's not much going on here.
Right.
But you start adding in all those modules, now it's like a deeper, more interesting game.
Sure. And the counter argument there is that Taverns is not $100, but
Sure.
I don't know. I would kind of wish it was. You know, like I kind of wish I had an upgraded version of Taverns.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Plus, so you can be right more.
Yeah.
Yes, more correct.
But yeah, I mean, if anything else you guys want to say about that? Because this was a long, just combined one. We all tend to agree that
Yeah.
Foundations of Rome is much
Well,
better than a 5.
Much better
It's
than
not
five.
just us. Everybody agrees.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. If you look in there, I don't think anybody's ready
why
to
it's
go
our
five, apart
one.
from him. We have any honorable mentions that we wanted to talk about?
Yes.
Yes.
I was gonna say his hat. He's just wrong about the hat. I mean, I get you why you're wearing a hat. We all understand why, but
Does that mean he's wrong about hair product?
He does have a dumb hat.
it's just body wash.
Oh my god.
Just gonna do this
Boy,
a couple
I am not
times.
looking forward to my episode.
I know. Yeah.
One of the biggest problems that Tim has, he's not here. He just doesn't show up sometimes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
We film on Sundays.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this.
At noon.
It's taken place for a couple years now.
Yeah.
Eastern.
Yeah. Eastern.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a classic. No, but some more serious stuff, just really quick, because I know we're going to be joking a lot. He really likes Happy Salmon. I just don't get into games like that. I know it's
Party game.
Yeah, it's a fan thing for that.
I like
but-
party
10?
games.
No.
Yeah,
I like party games and I like chaos, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying he talks that up a lot compared to other ones, and it's meh. I'm not trying to hate on it. It's meh. Obviously, I have DC Deck Builder and Champions of Midgard written down. And then isn't Tim the one that really likes the game?
Julia does.
Okay.
I don't know if Tim actually
I
does.
thought
or not.
Tim did. I wrote that down because I couldn't find it ranked.
I
on
think he
his
likes it.
VGG.
He doesn't like the mind.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. I thought he really liked the game and he doesn't like the mind. You know, again, two games that do the same idea. Just, but one came out first.
I was the one that I was the one that really went into detail on the mind on my overrated list.
Yeah.
Because of all the awards that it won.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah. I don't know, Mike. You were gonna say something.
Yeah, I think you actually disagree with me on this, but pretend you don't.
Okay.
I'm better at you than that.
There's there's another game that he has rated lower than a 5. I remember
Oh.
it because I was
There's one.
a bit hurt by it. I know you enjoy Social Deduction, and I know this is an older Social Deduction game, and it's very simple. But if you enjoy them and you've played several of them, The Resistance is a fun social deduction game.
What a fantastic game.
I mean, I don't see. Did he rate Avalon? It's basically the same game.
I
don't know if it
don't
is
know,
the same.
but he gave it a 3.
Yeah. That was of the
3.
two lower than 6. It was Foundations at a 5.
I mean,
and that one at a 3.
Secret Hitler builds on the concepts that Resistance made. I mean, it gives you a little more information, but it has that core voting mechanic, and you're determining who's going to go on this quest or who's going to become the president, and then you vote on that. Without the Resistance, like, Secret Hitler doesn't exist. So, and I played lots of the Resistance before I ever played Secret Hitler or before Wolves of Mercia. So I'm sorry, that is... I had a lot of fun playing the Resistance, and I just don't see the issues with that game. Is it simple? Yes. Does it give you great things to bluff about and fun experiences? Like, oh my gosh, we totally bluffed him out of his shoes. Also, yes. It's not a 3. It's not.
Yeah, I don't love the Resistance. I don't think it's a 3.
Other games have done it better.
Yeah, other games have done it better.
But
Um,
it's a 10-year-old game.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. You know, that's fine.
In his defense, as much as I hate to say, he did not rate Avalon, which is like almost an identical type
Right,
of game.
right.
So I was really hoping it'd be like a 9 or a 10.
I do
That would be,
That would be
hilarious.
I do like the look of Avalon more.
Yes. Yeah.
but,
Well, I mean, because the theme is different. Right? It's more like
Yeah.
it's King Arthur and Merlin as
Yeah.
opposed to updated and
more
that
roles.
dystopia
Whereas with the
thing, right,
Resistance, you have to buy expansions to get the same roles that Avalon
Yes,
already has in the
Avalon
box,
came
which is
with
goofy to me.
it.
But the
Yeah.
theme is better on the Resistance, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay.
I like calling people spies instead of defenders of Merlin or whatever it may
Right.
be. That's
Well, they're medieval spies.
yeah, I know. I still just call
You're
them
a medieval
spies.
spy.
Yes. So
Yeah. So,
please in the comments.
please,
Please.
We know that there's
We know
a
they're
lot
out there.
more
Yes.
than what we
Blow
said.
that up with what? Why is Tim wrong? We know. You know. Let us know. You know.
Yeah. Here's something. Who do you want to see next? There's something, because we can kind of rush that. You know, I'm available most Sundays, but I can just not show up one Sunday and let him.
Or we can make it a roast. Dan will just sit where he wants to sit, and he'll just
sit
have
right
to.
in front.
He'll have to
facing
sit
the
there.
camera.
Yeah, like down a little bit though, so it's just like your head sitting up there. You see your reaction.
And just have him sit there and take it. That could be fun. We could do a BGR
Yeah.
roast.
Put a window in the top of a Dan cam, right? And it just like your face reactions up there.
Oh, that's such a great
We
impression.
do Mike. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So anyway, guys, we hope you enjoyed. This was just us having dumb fun, and we
For
thought,
40 minutes.
Yeah.
I thought that was serious.
Oh shoot.
Hold on.
I mean, yeah, I was
Take
totally
two.
joking.
Cut.
And you know, poking fun at someone, and also it lets you get out, you know, deep things that you've been wanting to say, but you get to say them in comedic form, and so they're less hurtful.
That's right.
Right. You can be like, "Oh, Tim, you idiot."
Yeah, a lot of truth is said in jest. Eminem
And,
once said.
So yeah, Patrick, thanks for suggesting. We hope you enjoyed us kind of ripping into Tim a little bit there.
Sure
You
he
know,
did.
some harder than others, some more serious than others. And we had a good time doing it. So we want to thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time we do a video. So I've been Dan.
That was Bob.
Mike.
This is the Board Game Rundown. Thanks for watching.